You're such an asshole.
Hey, all the old tired, totally beat up captain. I drove from Rapid City, Deadwood, all the way to the WBL in one shot. And I used to be able to do that when I was younger. And obviously I can do that now as I'm older, but man, does that beat the ever-living shit out of you. So, I am in a disheveled state. And tired as hell. Anyway, it was Asshole Consulting. If you got a question, you can go to Asshole Consulting and I'll give you the answer as long as you give me some fucking money. Hello, asshole with a capital A. That's good. I am a returning customer from Finland. Please do not read out loud the sections that are marked with the brackets. Okay, I have had around 150 bosses, coaches, teachers, and other superiors. Don't call them superiors. They are supervisors. They are not superiors. And the reason why is that most, as you're going to find out, most bosses are inferior. They're conformists. That's how people become bosses. It's not that these are better people, smarter people. Bosses, especially at your IQ levels, we're going to find out, are inferior people, especially to anyone who's got an IQ above 110. Most of your bosses are going to be dumber than you. And I'm not saying that because, oh man, my boss was a dick. I'm saying it because it's true. This is why most businesses fail. Nobody stays on the job for more than 4 or 5 years, and why most bosses themselves don't stay on the job. For most leaders, especially middle management, you get to executive management, that's a different ballgame. But if right now you are a supervisor, a manager, or a director, you are a fucking idiot. You are fucking basic bitch. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You are basic bitch material. You are not a leader. You are not an innovator. You will die unknown. No, wow, he's middle management. Oh, well, fuck it. You go to a cube. You suffer a commute. You're a pathetic individual. That's what you are. You're not achieving anything. You have a mortgage. You got yourself a car loan. You just suck. You're just the basic bitch American and employers elsewhere. So that's why I know where you're going with this. 150 bosses. They're not superiors. They are not. They're wastes of lives. That's really what they are. They're waste of lives. They are inferior in pretty much every... What the hell's going on with this fucking Jesus Christ? Gotta turn this down. It's good news. It's just more business. That was the sound of money. I know you supervisors and business managers don't know what that sound. That was literally money going bling, bling. Asshole Consulting. All right. I have had around 150 bosses, coaches, teachers, and other supervisors when considering a time period from kindergarten to university and all the way up to my current position. All of these bosses in the past, I can name less than 20 that I would consider good bosses, 13%. Others have been either tolerable or just plain bad in my eyes. I am the leader of 12 people myself in my current job. 1. Why are there so many bad bosses, at least in my opinion? 2. Am I a bad subordinate towards my own bosses, or do I just demand too much from them? 3. Any tips on how to be among one of those good bosses to my own subordinates? So far, I've been reading so-called self-help books about leadership and also biographies of famous military leaders from World War II. Some basics in human psychology would also be in order. I welcome all tips. Well, I would find out what you liked about your those 20 bosses that you liked and kind of emulate that. All right, so I had to sit and think this one through, and I was on the road, so I'm going to use my laptop because that's why I said. So let's answer these. Why are there so many bosses, at least in my opinion? All right, number 1. Most people, oh, by the way, you have an IQ of 137. Yeah, I'm 37. I won't mention it, but you have a very high IQ. In general, just to the average person, most people suck. People get this idea that bosses are wise. You know, if they're older and they have gray hair, like I'm starting to get gray hair, people think that this means I'm a smart guy or something. No, that just means I'm an old fuck. Whether I'm a smart guy and an experienced guy has to do with my specific and individual life. And if you look at most people, regardless of age or gray hair, most people suck. Most people are fucking idiots. You throw in the fact you got an IQ of 137, holy fucking shit. I mean, you have to realize you are 2 standard deviations and change to the right of the average fucking schmuck out there. So to put this into perspective, I don't know if you read Curse of the High IQ, you would benefit from it, certainly you. That's like if you were an average person, the average person to you is like dealing with someone who is an IQ of 63. That is severely mentally retarded. That is somebody who cannot wipe their own ass almost, right? That is what it's like for you to deal with normie world. So if you're already an average person, dealing with bosses you're already dealing with an average level of suck. In your case, you're dealing with a severely mental retardation level of suck. All right? So nearly everyone, not just bosses, but nearly everyone is going to be a fucking idiot. I mean, a severely mental retard compared to you. Bosses and not bosses. All right? So that's one thing right there why most of your bosses are not up to your snuff. Second thing, understand how people get promoted. You are promoted to boss, supervisor, not by performance, but conformance. You obey. Right? This is how you get ahead in pretty much every organization. You don't do what's smart. You don't do what's intelligent. You don't do what's right. You are their bitch. To get promoted, you obey. I mean, I would have gotten so much further ahead if I just fabricated and falsified numbers on my reports and said, yep, approved loan, yes, man, yep. If I would have just gone with the flow and done my part to piss in the pot to help create the housing bubble and make it even worse, I would have been promoted and made a lot more money. Of course, I was stupid. Well, okay, I was smart. I said, wait a minute, we shouldn't be lending money. It has nothing to do with performance. And this is what smart people have got to get, especially smart people. You don't get ahead by being smart. You get ahead in organized bureaucratic structures by obedience, by obeying, by telling people what they want to hear, feelings, okay? Because, again, these are average intelligence people, and what they don't get the big picture. They're not like, we should really look out for the for the housing price. Look at PE ratios, price to rate. They don't look at that shit. What they are in it for is the feelings and the emotions and ego. I mean, look at your basic bitch average IQ person. What drives them? The average idiot male is driven by a fancy BMW to the point they'll lease it even though they can't afford it. The average American woman or Western is looking at Prada handbags and stupid ass shit like that. That's average. Those are your bosses. And they will do anything to get it, including sucking cock and kissing ass in the corporate world. And it works because their bosses above them, they're no smarter or more intelligent. They too want to lease the Beamer and all that. So it's this sea of lemmings and sheep all converging to suck ass and kiss cock. That's what it is. So those are the rules of the game, and it's all to feel good. No rocking the boat. That is the prime directive of pretty much every major corporation, every major employer, every bureaucracy, whether it's private sector or public sector. This is also why most businesses, bar a very few, always go out, always go under. There's always this assumption that, like, well, you know, the common variable is you have the problem. It's like, yeah, but if I look at pretty much every corporate, there's only like a handful. Like, there's like this one Italian bank that's been around for 500 years. Recently, this Korean company, or no, it was a Japanese company, I think, had been around for almost, 800? And then it finally went belly up because, hey, we know what we're doing. We got MBAs. If you look at the majority of businesses fail. That means the majority of bosses are fucking idiots who don't know what they're talking about. So it's not this arrogance or ego on your part, like, oh yeah, my boss is a dick. You know, there are certainly those people. But understand, conformance leads to failure. Because no one looks at and identifies with clear wool from the eyes. They identify threats and opportunities to either grow the company or to look out for torpedoes coming towards the ship. They're just sheep. This is why at best you can hope to get bought out by a large company like GE or Procter & Gamble. But even look at GM. GM went under. It went under. We bailed it out, so it's still coming along. Look at all the Japanese banks. They all went under. They were bailed out by the Japanese. The Korean chaebols, if you remember this. Chaebols and Keiretsu were going really crazy. It's just amazing what percentage of companies actually survive in the long run. It's because you're led by basic bitch bosses. So that's another reason why there are so many bad bosses, especially again through the the goggles of somebody with an IQ of 137. I already talked about you have an IQ of 137. That's like you dealing with retards. I've already talked about these people, how they put emotions and feelings over production and reality. A sign of truly intelligent people is that they can set aside emotion. Like someone calls me a dickhead or a short cock, or I don't care. You can't say that about the majority. The majority of people, I mean, you call a fat woman fat. Okay, call a skinny woman fat, and she's of average intelligence. She'll freak out. She'll wonder if she's fat. She'll go look in the mirror, pinch her. Am I fat? Won't look at fucking math or say, I don't care. I know I'm not fat. Man, you say, oh yeah, you got a small dick in your team. Oh man, pick a team. Closet homosexuals always cheer for. The Boston Red Sox. Oh yeah, they suck, man, and they'll get pissed off almost to the point of wanting to fight you. That's your average. That's your average IQ that you're dealing with. But it points out that it's all feelings and emotions. That's the level they're operating at. So this, IQ and thinking, and hey, we ought to consider this. And, well, if we'd like to get paychecks, we should really ought to, solve this problem we have. People don't want to hear it. They all want everything is happy. Everything is great when you're part of the team. Oh, here's another one. Why bosses suck. Most bosses, again, being commoners, normies, conformists, or cocksuckers. That's the only thing they have in their lives. The only thing they have is like that they're the supervisor, they're the boss. You look at their lives, they fucking suck. Their wives are fat, their husbands are fat. You go to their outside and ask what else do they have going on in their life? Nothing. Chances are they're debt slaves. Chances are that, they're up to the hilt in debt. They got a mortgage. They got car loans. They got a spouse that's getting frumpy. Kids that don't like them. They have nothing else but their position to point to. And so that ego that's associated with that, they don't want you telling them they're wrong. They don't want to hear anything contradictory or even constructive criticism. They don't want to hear it. That is the one thing they have in life, and they're going to hold on to that, and they're going to browbeat the fuck out of you with it. Because I'm the boss, I'm the teacher, I'm the professor, I have a degree, I'm smart, I have an MBA. Ha ha ha. Okay, so if there's any criticism, even if it's well intended, like you have no personal animosity, you gotta even respect your boss. Say, hey boss, don't you think we gotta look out for that? That is a direct assault in their inferior minds against the one thing that matters most to them, and that is that they're the boss. Blah, blah. Which is them sucking their own dick. I just impersonated that. And then finally, the Peter Principle. This is where, I think it was Dilbert or maybe it was somebody else came up with this, Scott Adams, where you are promoted to the point of incompetence, where, okay, you're doing really well. Now, this assumes erroneously, I'd say, that performance is rewarded. I think performance scares the shit out of management, but let's just assume performance is rewarded. Well, Jim's a real good stock boy. Let's promote him to floor manager. Wow, Jim's a real good floor manager. Let's give him a sales position job. Wow, Jim's a really great salesman. Let's promote him to sales director. Holy shit, Jim can't direct salesmen to save his fucking life. Well, we don't promote him anymore, but we don't knock him back down to where he was good. You don't demote him back to where he was most productive. So that's where Jim sits, where he really sucks. You get promoted to your level of incompetence. And I think that's true, because remember, feelings is more important than production. So even though Jim sucks and is just torching the fuck out of the sales directorship, instead of demoting him, even giving him a pay raise or let him keep his pay, they will keep him there because we don't want to hurt Jim's feelings. See? Because we're all basic bitch fucking lemmings. It's great when you get out of corporate America and you can see it for what it is. All right, second question. Am I bad subordinate towards my bosses, or do I just demand too much of them? No, this I could say in your case squarely lands with you having a freakishly high IQ. I guarantee, you're busting your ass off. As long as you do what's right, you're just going to run into the natural limits of this system. And I'm not even talking the IQ or the intelligence of your bosses. That is true too. But you're like a high performance part stuck in a very base model Chevy engine. You're capable of much more, but the engine you're attached to is only capable of 250 horsepower. Okay? So it sucks, but you're like, well, we could do this, we could do that, we could do that. They're not capable of doing that. These are your lemmings. They are obedient cogs. So it can be frustrating. It can even cause friction, confrontation maybe, but you're not a bad employee. Now, of course, this assumes you don't have any drug problems, that you do show up on time, which I'm going to assume because you're a professional that you are. But you got to realize that this world is not made for smart people. The biggest it's like taking a Ferrari in a major metro area. The speed limits are 25 to 35 miles. You're certainly capable of going a lot more, but traffic and the law is going to prevent you from ever achieving that speed and velocity. So it's not you. You're not a bad subordinate. I mean, it's sad, but you really, you gotta pat them on the head. It is like, in your case, dealing with retards. Don't assume they know what you know. Don't assume that they can figure it out and that, you see it for the plain obvious solution that it is. They are not capable of that. They are capable of driving at Chevy Caprice status. You're at Ferrari high performance status. Unfortunately, you are put in the chassis of a Chevy Caprice Classic. So that's the speed you're capable. You're going to be limited to operate at. 3, any tips on how to be among one of those good bosses to my own subordinates? So far, I've been reading blah, blah, blah. Okay, couple ideas. 1, choose your team. Choose your team correctly. I know I don't believe in HR. I don't believe in interviewing. You got to interview, but I don't believe in there. We're treating it as a science. Well, there's structured interviews and unstructured. We think accommodation. Fuck HR. Go do your fucking investigation. Investigate the fuck. And you know what? I don't know if you can do this. Certainly don't use a company computer. Google the fuck out of them. I want to find highly intelligent people who are sane. All right? And they don't even necessarily have, if their job doesn't require high IQ, it's just, nail pieces of nails into blocks of wood, if it's that simple. You don't necessarily need high IQ, but you need them to show up on time. So I would do your screening and select your team carefully. Like in the war movies, we got to select a team to go on this suicide mission and whatever. And you can't have one fuck up in the group. And then they introduce oh, wow, Steve McQueen said, oh, man, look, it's what's the guy's name? He had the voice, not Rod Steiger. Also, it's all those cool actors from the 50s and 60s. That guy, he's going to be the guy with the knives. Oh, here comes the sniper. Oh, there's the demolitions expert. That's what you got. So I would screen the fuck and choose your team wisely. So you got 12 people, and if a couple of them don't look like they're going to make it, start researching and finding their replacements now. All right? So you need a crack team of good, competent people to make sure it's there. Another thing, do not assume you know anything. I never understood this in the military. I never understood this working in banking. Bosses are gone. They're just gone. They don't know what's happening on the front line. They want to start barking orders, and they have no fucking clue what is going down on the ground. I would be, not daily, you don't want to harass them. And fuck this, we're going to have an open door policy. Certainly have that. No one takes advantage of it because most bosses what the fuck do you want? I don't have time. Hit the ground running. Steep learning curve. I can't hold your hand. So what you got to do is you are the captain. And there are privates, and you are 2 miles behind the enemy lines, and the privates and the sergeants and corporals are getting their asses kicked out on the battlefield. You gotta go to the battlefield, say, what's the fucking situation, what the fuck is going on? And you wanna know good, bad, and in between. Alright? Basic bitch bosses only want to hear good shit because they're inferior pieces of shit. You want to be a superior boss. You want to make your division grow. You want to be the highest performing whatever. I don't know if your division or whatever. You need to know what's happening on the atomic level. And I would bring in every single employee. I want to know what is the biggest. I would say start with problems. Fuck what's going good. If it's going good, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Find out what's wrong. I want to know everything that's wrong. And you want to know gossip. And you got to realize, especially if it's going to be women, 90% of it's bullshit. It's just irrelevant crap. But I would say you want to know what's wrong. I want to know the number one problem, one, two, and three problems with your job that you don't like. What is and why? Explain why. So that you know, oh, there's always a bottleneck. Hunt down these bottlenecks, destroy them, throw resources to open up the bottleneck. And if bosses did that, they would be not only more in tune and have more loyalty from their employees, but you would know what the problems are. Look, the opportunity with this decreasing intelligent level, this decaying level of society, is not doing good things. It's eliminating the bad things and getting rid of the problems. You could do good or fight evil or fight bad. I say there's more opportunity to get rid of the bad. Everybody wants to focus on the good. We're doing diversity initiative. We're getting women. Oh my God, Tina, we had an award. Celebration. No, fuck that shit. Get down in the trenches with your men. Find out what the fuck is wrong. Do you have the software you need? Do you have the weapons you need? Do you have the tools you need? You don't? What's the biggest problem? And I guarantee you, once you start taking out these roadblocks and these bottlenecks, production is going to increase triple-fold or quadruple or whatever. So that's one thing I would do. You want to get down and know what is going on. And the gossip thing, you want to know what interrupt, because you'll find out soon enough who's the bad apple. You could separate emotions from it. But there's these genuine assholes out there, and I've ran into it every fucking time. It's like they just want these backstabbers. Like they come to work to like backstab because they like fucking drama, and don't think it's just women. Most of the ones I've been at are these power hungry guys, and they sense there's another guy who's got like a little bit more hustle than them, and they gotta undermine them. You find out who those fuckers are quick. You say you're gonna knock that fucking shit off, and you're gonna stop being a fucking pain in the ass. Now, they might go to your boss if you start using that language, but you want to know who the prick is. Who is the one bringing everybody down? All right? So talking, one-on-one, anonymous, whatever you got to get the dirt, you got to get the juice, and you got to find out what the problems are. Find things that work great. Find out what ideas they have. Ideas are a good idea. What are your ideas? And then, here's another good thing, explain why. See, every employee I knew as an employee, they'd say, do this. I'm like, well, why? Give me the reason why so I know not, and then they bitch and you didn't do it right. Well, could you tell me why I'm doing it? Then that way I know how this fits into the entire structure. No one tells you why. Bosses are too busy. Stay clear and careful. I don't have time to hold your hand. Explain why. Oh, yeah, I understand why you'd like to have this type of software or you think we should do it this way. But the problem is it integrates into this system this way, and that's why we got to have you do the data that way. Even though it's a pain in the ass, but that's why it's done that way. And if you explain why, then not only do they know why, and they're like, fuck, I think I know a better way. This is fucking taking my time. They'll know why they got to do it that way. And then since they have the context of understanding why it's being done that way, they'll do it right. They'll do it efficiently. They'll do it to the specifications and the specs of how you want it done. But if you don't give them a bird's eye, again, charge that hill. Why? What's going to happen when I capture the hill? What's going on around us? That way you can work as a whole team. You say, B company's coming in from that side. C company's coming in from that side. We got to take that machine gun turret out. Oh, just take out the machine gun turret. Why? Oh shit, there's people coming on our left flank. You start shooting, now you got friendly fire. You need to explain why to your employees, otherwise they're going to have no fucking clue. Just nail this piece of wood in there. Okay, fine. All right, then see how good that employee is when you didn't nail it in the right way. You told me to nail it into the piece of wood. I did, yeah, but not the way I wanted you to. So don't be one of those dickhead bosses without explaining the why. Be a hard ass up front. You can bring them in and say, even on the interviews, because they're not employees yet, you say, let me explain something to you. We don't tolerate bullshit here. Right? There's no feelings, there's no emotions. It's like for screening. I know you got your 12 employees now. You say, I don't tolerate bullshit. Right? You fuck with me, give them and be a hard ass, and then inevitably you don't have feelings. You're not their friends. You're not their fucking friend. You say, say it right out. I'm not your fucking friend. I'm your boss. We don't go out and have fun here. Fun is at home. We work here. All right? We kick ass. And then that way, see, it's kind of like being asshole consulting. Anytime I get a complaint, I'm like, what did you think with asshole consulting? What about my personality did not convey to you that I was an asshole? And then you get these wimpy pussy, you're going to be so mean. It's like, hello, what'd you think? So when you go in as the asshole hard ass, as the guy ain't gonna tolerate shit, you can always say, I could have swore we had a conversation where I told you that, I don't tolerate petty bullshit. Or that I need you to directly contact me about anything good or bad. It gives you like this premise, this operating principle. This is how the tone of our relationship is going to be set. And if you deviate from that, inconveniencing my life, that I have to do these nuanced, nice guy, well, I understand. No, you don't have time for that fucking feminist, touchy-feely psychology, HR bullshit. Like, no, this is a military. What the fuck do you want, son? Oh, that's a good idea. Good job, soldier. Now get the fuck out of my face. We have work to do. That's kind of at least for me, because then I'm like, whoa, fuck. He means business. No fucking bullshit around him. And you might even scare these fucking drama queens into like straightening up and say, I hear any fucking drama. I hear any backstab, any of this office politics bullshit. I'm going to come down like a fucking nuclear bomb on all of you. Like, whoa. All right? Kind of the drill instructor. Right? They're not going to take advantage of you because you will be fucking pissed. You got to do it up front. Kind of like spanking your kid. You never spank your kid. You give them timeouts. They become shitty kids. Same thing with employees. You beat the fucking shit out of them early on and they're like, fuck, don't get it. All right. Oh, make it incredibly clear what you expect from them on the job. All right? None of this ad hoc. See, every baby boomer fuck always did ad hoc duties as needed 35%. Which basically was, we can fuck you over and completely change the duties. You lie to your employees about what's expected, yeah, guess what? And morale's gonna go down. I don't think I've ever gone to a job, bar like 2 or 3, where the duties matched what I actually did. They always lied. Alright? Don't be that dick. Be upfront. And here's what's gonna happen. When you tell them upfront, you're gonna find better employees. It may take you a little bit while longer, but you'll find better employees. They'll do the job, they'll be more qualified, and then there won't be any that say, dude, you fucking said X and now you say Y. And then they fucking leave. Or there's turnover. Or your production is shit. Alright? So be very clear. And I understand there's going to be downtime, but don't feel it, well, we estimate there'll be 10% nothing going on, So we're going to say ad hoc. No, there is no ad hoc duties. You know what? That fucker gets his job done, and there's 10% of the day left over, guess what he or she can do? They can go home. You want to talk about employee loyalty and low turnover? Say, get your fucking job done. If there's nothing else to do, go the fuck home. Say hi to the kids. Go run some errands. Your job is done. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, you're still gonna get full-time pay. That's another thing. But this bullshit, well, you're our bitch for 8 hours because reasons. And you fit in, your highly productive employees, they'll tend to get the work done in about 4 hours. You get the work done in about 4 hours, you have half a day off. It was funny. I was at Wells Fargo, and I part of my employee negotiation, I said, I can work anytime I want. I could come in the office, you give me a 24-hour access. So I'd go party downtown Minneapolis and then to sober up or go up and do a little bit of work. And it was great. And so then I put in my 3 hours that night, and then I leave 3 hours. And the fucking whiny little basic bitch cunts of Wells Fargo, well, you can't leave. And they, well, we can't have you do that anymore. Like, fuck you. That was part of the contract that I could do this. That's part of the reason I took this fucking job. Tell them to fuck off, right? So you lay down the law. I don't want to see you implement a flexible work policy, but you be very clear what the duties are. And if they get the duties done, they get the job done, let them go fucking home. Oh my God, what a fucking concept. They're not fucking slave plantation owners. Beep-a-dee-ba-doo. Make sure your metrics and performance metrics are very clear. Here's one that has never been done in the history of baby boomer bosses. Train your fucking employees. I know modern day, perhaps even Gen X, want you to go and get all this education and then master's degree preferred, and we need certifications in CPE. And so you're going to force kids to go to school for what, 7 years after high school? To still not have the exact skill set you need, you can get all the degrees in the world you want. It's not going to prepare you specifically for that job. I don't know how many jobs I had where it's like, you got to train yourself in. Well, then why the fuck are you a boss? Who the fuck are you? What point and purpose do you serve? Then you don't need a boss. If everyone comes in and is self-automating and self-teaching, well, then there's no need to have a boss. Just get the... Hey, soldier? No, train yourself in basic. And don't take orders from me. Figure it out yourself. Steep learning curve, hit the ground running. I don't have time to hold your hand. You want to be that dick? Fine. Here's an idea. You want lower employee turnover? You want higher productive values? You want higher production? You want higher performance? Train your fucking employees. There's that. Seriously, that right there alone would put you on par in the top 10% of bosses. Because no bosses train. They're the lazy basic bitch fucks. That's what they are. So, that's just a crazy idea. I don't know, train employees. Who knows? You know, like the first day you go into a job, we're going to have you talk to HR. We're going to have you meet everybody. Hi, this is Jim. Jim works in accounting. Hi, Jim. This is our new guy, Phil. He's gonna really get marketing going. You're going to be spending a lot of time with Phil. Now, let's go. And then, like, what? 2 hours? Well, there's not much for you to do today, you know. Just get used to the computer system. And it's like, training? Hello? But you see, I don't have an MBA from Wharton, so I'm a fucking idiot. So I don't know jack shit. I just me. Thinking like, how about the fucking job? And then the boss goes to his fucking cube. And you never see the guy again until the next time. I don't have time to hit the ground running. Hold your hand. I'm a baby boomer boss with an MBA, damn it. Not hard. Not hard to be a boss. Not at all. Yeah, I don't have an MBA. But if you pay your employees more, they might stick around. You fucking... I remember these... And I know I'm never going to end ripping on the baby boomers. Not until they are all fucking dead. Until they are all fucking dead, then I'll stop. But I'll probably die because of a couple more older baby boomers that, like vampires, live forever. They would just pay you the cheapest shit possible. You don't know. You just want the job. I'll prove myself through hard work. You know what? And then, like, you get we'll give you $25,000. We can't go anymore. Like, okay, I'll take it because I need to eat. But I'll prove to them that and then they'll give me a promotion of $40,000. Pay your fucking employees. Pay them good. So that they don't go away. Alright? For the employee turnover so high. How do we lower it? I don't know. Pay your fucking employees a good wage. Make it, it's no different than a woman. How do I keep a man? I don't know. Stay thin, fuck them, and give them great head. How fucking hard is it? Treat them nice. Treat them good. Fucking, how many years worth of study did they study this at fucking MBA school? Employee turnover. How much pissing away of researchers and professors and business school academians' time has been pissed away on figuring that one out? I talked about screen the fuck out of them. Okay, so that's an all right. Now, here's the thing. Final warning. All right, I don't envy any of you. Because when you're a boss, now you got to deal with the number one royal pain in the ass fucking thing, humans. And whereas, yes, to get promoted, you got to be a boss, you got to have people underneath you. Yes, to make the money, you got to have under subordinates. No matter how good of screening you're going to do, you still got to pick from the pool of normies. And the number one problem of the world is humans, and you're going to run into problems, especially with 12 people. You're going to run into problems. I personally, I will never start a company that requires employees. Never. And if I got a couple ideas that would require employees. My goal would be to sell the company immediately to another investor at a discounted price, because I don't want to deal with people. My life is too fucking short to deal with humans. I'm like, I got this idea. I know you guys are all gonna laugh, but it's an energy company. I have a way, and it would make the global warming people shut the fuck up, because it would end global warming. But I don't care if I have a market value of $500 billion. I would sell it for a cool $1 billion. Here, get it the fuck. No, it's all yours. There you go. And I don't have to deal with people. All right? People suck. Bosses or subordinates, they suck. So try to understand, especially with you being high IQ, that this is not going to be fun. You could try your best and you could do your best, but in the end, there's always you're going to have 12 people. That's 12 variables. Guarantee you there's going to be fuck-ups. The trick is not to get angst. The trick is not to get angry. The trick is to accept. A trick I'd even say is to forgive a lot of, a lot of this is innocent error. It's not like they're maliciously trying to do it. But don't think you're going to, it's so rare to have a crack team of people that have, you're not going to be managing a Navy SEAL Team 6. It's not like, Steve McQueen and fucking, and John Wayne and James Colburn. It's not going to be like The Great Escape where everyone has their fucking shit together. That is not going to happen. You are going to have a fuck up or 2 or 3 or 5. And so preparing yourself psychologically and mentally for that, just practicing stoicism and Zen, that's going to go a long way too, because they are going to fuck up. They are. The trick is to, 1, hedge against it, prepare for it, have a backup and redundancy plan for it, and then not get angry. Don't let it stress you out. Because I've seen some friends, they run businesses, and fuck that. Fuck people. People fucking suck. I hate them more than a tornado hits my house. It's nothing personal. But by God, if people aren't the dumbest motherfuckers out there. So, anyway. That's how to be a good boss. You guys got questions? Now I know. Now, hang on. This might actually get to some people in business who have MBAs, and you're in GE, and we're Accenture, we're so intelligent. If you're done with the bullshit and you really want to make progress, you don't want to send your staff to CPE anymore. You actually want, real consulting in the real world, you can go to ASOconsulting.com. Guarantee you we're better than Bain and McKinsey because we got a different philosophy. We just don't have doctorates. Fuck. And by the way, we curse here. Didn't know if you knew that or not. But if you guys got questions, you want the real dope, you don't want MBA-laden, sugar-coated bullshit, go to ASOconsulting.com. You can hit me on the Praxi app if you need to contact me directly over your phone. It's an arm and a leg. It's $2 a minute. But sometimes you have an emergency asshole consulting situation. Download the Praxi app, Praxey, and you can read my books. They're on Amazon.com. If you don't like my demeanor and you just want to read. And then I got the podcast, the Clarity Podcast, where I just talk about myself, because after enough of this, I'd like to talk about myself a little bit. That's all we got. We'll see you kids later. Toodles.